Stephen Smith here, and I'm with Christian Leadership Partners. And for the last 8 days, what we've been doing is we've been doing coaching sessions. They only last about 10 minutes, and I hope that they're actually making a difference in your life. If this is the first coaching that you've seen, I really encourage you to go back and see the first one and start from there. Because what we've been doing is we've been developing our goals. And what we want to do is we want to take a look at the way that we process our goals and the way that we react to those goals. Now, if you look down in the comments below, you can actually download a copy of those goals. Now, what we want to do today is we're going to continue on with what we did yesterday. In an effort to do solution-focused goals, what we want to do is we want to take a look at our change goals. We have change goals from yesterday, and today what we want to do is we want to start embracing that change. So we're not embracing the negative, but what we're doing is we're going to start developing intermediate and midterm goals that will actually help us to change the way that we look at things so that we can change the negative aspects in our lives and start working on the positive aspects of them. And what we've been doing also is we've been spending time in Proverbs. Proverbs 6:20 through 22 tells us this: "My son, obey your father's commands and don't neglect your mother's instruction. Keep their words always in your heart. Tie them around your neck. When you walk, their counsel will lead you. When you sleep, they will protect you. When you wake up, they will advise you." So what we want to do today is we're going to take a look at Proverbs chapter 8, and it'll fall right in line with the way that we want to coach for today. Proverbs 8 talks about the value of wisdom as a person. And what we want to do is we want to see wisdom as an individual out there that's actually there to help us. So let's take a look at Proverbs chapter 8 and see what it says to us. Now, don't forget to look for the most important aspect of this particular proverb and how it affects you in your life. Every one of us may have a different verse, but choose the verse that makes the biggest difference for you. So Proverbs chapter 8. "Listen as wisdom calls out. Hear as understanding raises her voice. On the hilltop along the road, she takes her stand at the crossroads. By the gates at the entrance of the town, on the road leading in, she cries aloud, I call to you, to all of you. I raise my voice to all people. You simple people use good judgment. You foolish people show some understanding. Listen to me, for I have important things to tell you. Everything I say is right, for I speak the truth and detest every kind of deception. My advice is wholesome, there is nothing devious or crooked in it. My words are plain to anyone with understanding, clear to those with knowledge. Choose my instruction rather than silver, and knowledge rather than pure gold. For wisdom is far more valuable than rubies. Nothing you desire can compare with it. I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore I hate pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech. Common sense and success belong to me. Insight and strength are mine. Because of me, kings reign, and rulers make just decrees. Rulers lead with my help. Nobles make righteous judgments. I love all who love me. Those who search will surely find me. I have riches and honor, as well as enduring wealth and justice. My gifts are better than gold, even the purest gold. My wages are better than sterling silver. I walk in righteousness, in paths of justice. Those who love me inherit wealth. I will fill their treasuries. The Lord formed me from the beginning before he created anything else. I was appointed in ages past at the very first. Before the earth began, I was born. Before the oceans were created, before the springs bubbled forth their waters. Before the mountains were formed, before the hills I was born. Before he had made the earth and fields, the first handfuls of soil. I was there when he established the heavens, when he drew the horizons on the oceans. I was there when he set the clouds above, when he established the springs deep in the earth. I was there when he set the limits on the seas so they would not spread beyond their boundaries. And when he marked off the earth's foundations, I was the architect at his side. I was his constant delight, rejoicing always in his presence. And how happy I was with the world he created, how I rejoiced with the human family. And so my children, listen to me, for all who follow my ways are joyful. Listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. But those who miss me injure themselves. All who hate me love death. So what we want to see here with this verse or this chapter in Proverbs is this, that wisdom is actually something that we can interact with. We want to interact with wisdom because wisdom will interact with us. As we embrace wisdom, what we'll find is that it'll start directing and guiding us along that path. Don't think of it as something that can be attained. Think of it as something that can advise you and help you out as you go along. Proverbs 8:33 through 35 tells us to listen to my instruction and be wise. Don't ignore it. Joyful are those who listen to me, watching for me daily at my gates, waiting for me outside my home. For whoever finds me finds life and receives favor from the Lord. That's a really great verse, and it helps to really encapsulate what Proverbs means to us. So what we want to do is we want to apply this to our coaching session today. And today what we want to do is we want to download down in the notes a copy of our goal worksheet. And on that goal worksheet, what we're going to do is we're going to start identifying those simple goals that we can identify and we can start doing absolutely today. We're going to start following positive habits that replace the old ones. Now, we went a little negative yesterday, but today we want to go positive, and we want to say, no, wait, instead of doing this, I'm going to do that. Instead of swearing, I am instead going to declare the word of the Lord. I mean, there's certain ways that we can start embracing this, but if I can embrace this wisdom that is given me, then what I can do is I can start making these changes as we go along. So we're going to do 3 different things in this coaching session. The first thing I want to do is review yesterday's list and choose an opposite behavior. So you can even use the same list that you used yesterday. So if you want to overcome swearing, you want to identify that and identify a positive behavior that you can do instead of that. If you want to stop chewing your nails, we want to identify the positive aspect behind that. If we want to stop overeating, then we want to identify the positive aspect of exercise instead of eating. There's several different ways that we can do this, but we want to identify those negative behaviors and start finding the positive behavior that is associated with that. Now, you can start on a new goal worksheet or you can work on yesterday's list. But what we want to do is identify those negative aspects, and we want to start identifying positive aspects that we can start doing instead. And these have to be our near-term goals. Now, these will be in conjunction with our long-term goals, but these near-term goals are to change our immediate behavior. The second thing that we want to do is we want to start doing this new behavior immediately. In other words, if you identify exercise as your new behavior, go out and exercise right now. Don't wait to try and counter the negative aspect of things, because the more that you do them, the more that they'll become a positive behavior in your life. And if we can do that, then it'll change the way that we look at things. So the third thing that we want to do is when you feel that you're falling into your old habit, you want to start doing the new. So if you start feeling this new habit or the old habit coming on, you want to start doing the new. So if you can start doing these things, then what will happen is that you'll start changing your behavior. Now, it's going to take a longer time than just the 30 days that we're providing for you. So these new behaviors actually have to become habits. And what will happen is that these habits will become so ingrained in you that they'll be as natural for you as breathing, as natural for you as walking, as natural for you as, check this out, breathing and walking at the same time. Sometimes it's even as simple as walking and chewing gum at the same time. We don't have to think about these things because they're natural things that happen in our lives. So if I can identify positive behaviors that I can do every single day rather than the negative behaviors, and once those become habit forming, then what will happen is that I can start building on those things. Well, I hope that these coaching sessions have actually made a difference for you. You're more than welcome to share these on Facebook. You can retweet them if you're watching on Twitter. You can always go and copy the link in YouTube and share it any way that you want to. You can even text it to your friends. I really encourage you to start coaching your friends in these same aspects. Help them to use these goal worksheets and start developing their own goals. Because the greater opportunities that you take to make this difference in others' lives will actually start embedding it in your own life. We're doing these things so that you can make a change in your life. And what we ultimately want to become is a miracle going someplace to happen.